Hello there my fellow holotable heroes and welcome to another Conquest video guys. It's already done Sector 1 and Sector 2 videos, both mini boss and sector feats as well, and final boss of course. All the bosses, all the feats already covered from previous sectors. So if you're interested in those, there will be a link in the description to my SWGOH Life website where you can go ahead and check them out, as well as all the other Conquest features that I have on there, such as guides, then sector as well. You can go sector by sector checking out feats, enemies, counters, and of course the daily plan and a lot more, anything you really need to conquer the Conquest. In this video I will actually be going through Sector 3, just showing you some of the teams that I used here to get both Sector 3 and global feats done at the same time, hopefully help you out to reduce the amount of battle you need to do. Let's just first review the feats we actually have in Sector 3. Defeating 50 enemies with Inquisitor units. Now if you do have both Supreme Color and Galactic Legendary unlocked, you can just go ahead and skip this one unless you have relict Inquisitors. Otherwise, if you do have to do it with low gear Inquisitors, we'll find some cheese team as before, and so I'll show you that. Winning 20 battles without losing a unit, so you can just pretty much use whatever you want here. Gaining health still up. Your best bet here is using Emperor Palpatine. It's going to be the fastest way to do it, but I'll show you a few different options for this feat as well. And Secret Intel means you will have to use BB-8 in any sort of team. Doesn't necessarily need to be resistance, but because you have to do resistance battles anyway, might as well do it with a full resistance team, I think, anyways. Alright, so let's just start with the battles now. The first one, of course, that we have to address is the Inquisitor team. So for this one, I'll be having lots of Amplify Agony and Data Discs, and as well Unstable Decelerator, Ruthless Swiftness, because once you do use Amplify Agony and Volatile Accelerator, obviously they'll be gaining a bonus turn meter the enemies, so any sort of data discs that will reduce to offset that turn meter gain will help you a little bit, because you don't want enemies to take a turn and die from damage over times, because then that won't count as the Inquisitor feat. Now if you find like a slower team, maybe like Bad Badge is not over prepared, or any other team that's not over prepared, you can give this team comp a go. Basically you use Tarkin lead for plus 30 speed for Empire allies, and then you just put your best speed set over on Thrawn. Mine was at 352 speed, so that in combination with plus 30 from Tarkin allowed Thrawn to outrun all the enemies. So again, if you do find some squad here that it's not over prepared, give this a go and see if you can outrun them, because if you can, then Thrawn can pass turn over to Phasma, and Phasma just uses her victory march. Everybody will gain 50% turn meter, and then your Inquisitors, the two Inquisitors that you're bringing in, Night Sister and Eighth Brother, they both have AoEs, so hopefully this will then finish off a few enemies for you. So we go, able to go before Echo, boost turn meter, get some debuffs with Tarkin to do some damage, then do one AoE here with the first Inquisitor, and now the other sister, she will unload an AoE as well, and there we go, I defeated 3 enemies in this battle. Now I could go ahead here and finish this battle and obviously waste my stamina, but if you're trying to cheese this feat, I suggest, you know, you always defeat 3-4 enemies, then leave somebody alive, and then you can obviously go back in and repeat these. You just have to time out, so you have to be waiting for 5 minutes there. That's why I'm not doing it this time, to be honest. Another way to cheese this is, as we've done before, using Initial Frenzy Attack. So you can find this one anywhere on Scavenger Notes, either for 75 crystals or 15 tokens, I believe. Then you just go ahead and equip it, and this will last for 2 battles, but if you lose or time out, it won't be consumed. So it's going to be similar like battle number 1, you will just want to time out after you do initial kills. In order for this, find some sort of node that has revives, so either separatists like maybe with Django or Newt, or bounty hunters, or in this case the best case scenario really is Imperial troopers, because they get 3 revives, right? So you can do 5-6 kills quite easily here with this team. So going with the 3 Inquisitors that have AoEs, 5th Brother, 8th Brother and 9th Sister, and then you bring in Jedi Knight Luke and Watt as well, because Watt obviously gets a bonus turn, he dishes out his stack, and then simply the Frenzy Tech will give everybody turn and you can get to work. So here we go, you can just put any tech, really, it doesn't even matter, to be honest, whatever you want, whatever you pick. I decided to put weapon attack over there. Now SLKR, all this mass stun, triggers, amplify agony, volatile accelerator, 1 AoE, finishing off. I don't know how my 1, 2, 3, so it was like 5 kills, maybe 4, and then you can just go ahead here, finish off a couple of other guys. But remember, do not win the battle, because that will consume your frenzy tech. So what you want to do is just leave one enemy alive in the end and time out. So definitely troopers are a good choice here, because you can get like this way, you can get 6 kills maybe or something like that. So there you go. So at this point you just want to time out. And after obviously you do time out, those kills will still count, and you can go back in and use frenzy attack over and over again, because you didn't win the battle. It will not get consumed. Again, you'll have to set aside about an hour for this feat, whether you do with the first team or this team, because you'll have to keep timing out. So definitely this is a very good option here. So just to show you, I had before 2 kills there for Inquisitors from a previous battle, so here I actually got 6, so I was very happy with this approach. There you go, 2 slightly different ways to cheese these kills. I'm pretty sure you know, as the time goes on, when we get more data discs, some people in community or even I'll be doing more testing and we'll figure out other ways to cheese it. This was just the initial cheese runs that I had. Okay, so let's move on now to the health steal up feat. As mentioned before, the easiest way to do is with Palps. Doesn't even matter who you put in with him, as long as he gets a turn, he uses his ability and everybody will gain health steal up. You can also bring in, like I did here, Red Hunt and Color and Mass for the torn apart feat, or you can bring any other Sith or Empire. It depends who your enemy is really. Obviously Mara gets going. Lots of debuffs out there. Maybe bringing in Mars an overkill, because I wasn't able to use Pulp's health steal ability twice. I just used it once and everybody died off after that. So there we go. One more hit and that should do it. So that was health steal 5 times. That's okay, I guess. But obviously if I would remove some of the data days that I wouldn't defeat enemies so quickly, I would be able to get for sure 20 in one battle. But I don't want to unequip data days, you know, and then put them back on, because it costs crystals. Another way to get health steal up as well as with Bounty Hunter. So with Greef on his assist ability, if that assist defeats the enemies, you will gain health steal up. So eventually we'll get a turn here, whenever. Yep, there we go. Get a turn. Now we call everybody to assist. This will defeat 5s and everybody gain all those buffs, including health steal up. So that's now health steal up 5 times for your team. And if you get it one more, which I maybe will be able to, let's see if Greef can get another turn here. I'm going to go ahead and do this, and there we go, another assist. So we got more buffs there as well, hopefully. So you go, health steal up again, you know, with these teams, not problem at all. Then also if you got Star Killer, you can do, again, Pulps, and both Visas, they have health steal up, and Johanny, I believe she's in stealth or something like that, I don't know. My Visas is very low gear, not sure she will survive. Let's go and have a look. Again, Mara goes, does her thing, maybe take out Vader first. There we go, do health steal. Come on, Visas, get a turn. So if you would have Relic Visa, she would be faster. She maybe would get a turn already, and you would be able to use health steal with her as well. So that would help you out there. But anyway, Star Killer finishing off those guys. There you go. You can also use Visas in there for health steal up. So moving on to the next, and this actually completed now my health steal up feat. Another way with Smugglers, you can do it with Qi'ra, because on her assist ability, I think it's from her unique actually. I was reading it, I didn't quite figure out exactly, but I think when she gets prepared on her this ability, kick ability, she gains health steal up, and any other allies, I think that also did critical damage during that turn or something like that, they gain health steal up. So there you go, quite a few guys there got health steal up at this point. So there you go, you can also do this kind of Dash, Han, Chewie, Qi'ra team to gain health steal up as well. And obviously with Han and Chewie in there, this team will be very effective, taking out pretty much any opponent you will face. Okay, so that took care of the health steal up. So let's just move on now onto the next battle. So we got the Resistance here, just a standard Resistance team here will do. Okay, so obviously with the droids there, unfortunately maybe Night Sisters were not the best team to go up against because they stunned my Rey, so I wasn't able to get my thing going. But the idea here is obviously to spread secret intel with BB-8. So yeah, don't try this versus Night Sisters. It was a bad example, but it was just the thing that was in my way while I was this recording, so it wasn't too successful at getting here secret intel out too many times because they kept stun locking me. But anyway, I think I was able to still win here. I did an AoE there from R2, which defeated everybody. I think I got secret intel like 8 times only this battle or something like that. But yeah, anyway, you get the idea. BB-8 with obviously resistance. It's going to make this very easy. There we go. Just moving on now. Obviously, some teams there for the flawless feat. Jedi are a good option here with Jedi Knight Luke. With his mass stun, obviously, whenever he gets a turn, he'll just stun everybody, and that will be that. Bringing Anakin for his bonus turn. There we go. Decided to go straight for Rex. I don't care about Savior, to be honest. Do one AoE, another AoE, and I'll just call an assist, and boom, there we go. Simply Jedi, because obviously because of the Savior, the bonus turns, and the revives, it's quite easy to get here flawless victory versus most opponents in Sector 3. Another way, obviously, Han and Chewie with anything will get you flawless victory, whether it's CLS lead, Beskar Mando lead, Dash lead, whatever you've got really, and then you can just chuck in, as I always do, Veteran Han and Kylo Ren and Mask for that torn apart feat, so I can then, you know, don't worry about like doing an extra battle with those guys. The game has to process all these now damage over times that Han and Chewie are applying. That's why whenever I do a hit a little bit, the game freezes. There we go. Actually, Kylo Ren and Mask was very useful, taking some counter attacks. Now this is not a stat fast retribution gas, it's a staunch reprisal, but the amount of damage we are doing here, it wouldn't make a difference if it's really stat fast retribution or staunch modifier, doesn't even matter. There we go. We got a few hits in there, coming in an AoE from Gas, get an assist from Chewie, and down goes Gas for a flawless victory, as well as getting torn apart feat done at the same time with Vet Han in Kylo Ren unmasked team there. Alright, so let's move now to the global feats section kind of here that I did in Sector 3. Obviously need to run some sort of Rey resistance team, because the other one, Rey and the droids, are used for the secret intel feat. But you could have thrown BB-8 as well here if you'd want to get more secret intel as well. This team, obviously, the Empire teams are quite dirty, to be honest, but we'll get there whenever we start getting turns. Luckily they fracture Rey, not somebody else, so it doesn't matter. Fracture doesn't do a whole lot to her. So there we go. Flawless victory with Rain resistance, obviously getting that global resistance feat going, because we do need 40 wins with resistance. So again, another resistance team, just whatever comp you're using, however you decide to split your resistance team, no matter, Rey will be able to keep pretty much, at least here still in Sector 3, everybody alive. I just wanted to show you don't really need to have good characters here with Rey to get the job done. Obviously we're going versus Darth Revan. As soon as you get your whirlwind, you will want to take Malak out, because he will be a problem if you leave him to the last. Okay, let's unload there. Ultimate, Basti Revan still hanging in there. Let's go ahead, finish off Basti, and Revan just by himself now. He's pretty much helpless, to be honest. There we go, flawless victory again, and obviously resistance global feat battle done. Then we gotta do the Reylo feat, of course, so you can do this with Rey lead. Well, I'll show you afterwards as well, battle with Supreme Kylo Ren. I ran into Geos here, so I decided to do that. Obviously the danger here is it might not be a flawless victory if Spy potentially snipes somebody, so hopefully you can finish these guys before they do too much damage. Ranger training is actually quite good here, she's getting lots of bonus turn meter and things like that. There we go, some AoE with Kylos there. Perfect, got Brood out. Now we just have to brace ourselves. My Kylo Ren is barely surviving a big hit from Spy. Oh, and I actually even got a kill with Kylo Ren there for the global feat as well, Invader Shadow. So as mentioned before, obviously Reylo feat can be done with either Supreme Kylo Ren or Rey. If you have neither of them, I'm afraid you won't be able to complete this feat, so you'll be missing out 15 key cards. Which makes obviously getting Red Crate a lot harder here. in Conquest, unfortunately. But anyway, I got Inquisitors here. I don't know, I'm not really sure how I feel yet about Inquisitors here in Conquest. They are very fast, so if they do get a jump start on you, it could be problematic, but hopefully I can keep everybody alive here for another flawless victory. Come on, there we go. Yeah, I think we're good now. And get her down as well. Okay, so moving on now onto the full first order battles here in Sector 3. Again, different comps with Supreme Color and or how you decide to split. If you want to do separate team like with Hux lead in one of the lower sectors, you can go ahead and do that. Otherwise, you can use him here with Supreme Color. Mostly Hux is very good because he will prevent bonus turn meter gain, especially their Piet. He would love to gain some bonus turn meter when you're doing all this damage here. So we go to another AoE over here. I actually misclicked. I should have clicked on the other Kylo there. That was my mistake. But anyway, we were able to finish these guys off quite easily. And troopers are kind of a good target for getting kills for Vader Shadow Feat as well, because obviously it's 8 of them, so you have more opportunities for your Kylo to do the hits. There we go, another team here. So this one is without OG Kylo. So this team is kind of everybody feeding turn meter basically over to Supreme Caloran, so he's doing all the damage here for that Vader Shadow global feat. I'm just trying to think, do I do poke, do I do an AoE? Decided to go with a poke, wasn't quite enough here to finish off Magna Guard, but I did remove stealth, so now I can go ahead, stun Grievous, give the turn over to OG Kylo, do an AoE, and defeat a few enemies. More turn meter here. Going after B1s next, I guess. I'll just do mass assist over here. Perfect. Push back turn meter on what? And pop the ultimate. I think that should defeat both of them. Boom, and down they go. And that's it, really. You know, pretty much like in Sector 3 actually, apart from the cheesing Inquisitor feat, the other feats were kind of straightforward, to be honest. Feels like it was the easiest so far in terms of the feats to achieve. So you can see I've done quite good progress here. Obviously, Inquisitor 1, I will not be completing it myself. I just wanted to test some cheesing teams. And if some other cheese team comes, I'll be testing that as well. Obviously, make a follow-up video for that. But now I just have to come back, do the secret intel feat, just do, you know, a couple of more battles there with the resistance team, and I think I should be good to go. So that's all for today's video. Hope you found it useful and helpful, showing you some of the teams here that I used to make very good progress towards both Sector 3 and global feats. Obviously there'll be a Sector 3 mini boss and final boss battle coming out shortly after this video, so be on the lookout for that one. Hopefully I'll see you back in Sector 4 video, but until then, have fun, enjoy your life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.